everybody. Welcome to the Knitting Posse. I'm Laura.
I'm Kate.
I'm Lorien.
This is podcast number 29, and it is officially spring in New England, and we are having gorgeous weather. I have all my windows open. Feels glorious, and we are excited to see you guys again. No real announcement. Yeah, it has been a while. Has it been a month? Oh wow.
Yeah.
A busy month, I guess. No major announcements. I guess maybe I'll just start with we're just before we started recording, we were talking about doing a fall knit along. That's something to look forward to. Should I say who we're talking about? Okay, because she'll see this, because I know she watches and she's one of the first to watch. We are all in love with Beth McDonald Stone's, many of her designs, one of which, the last one, what's it called? Hamilton, which I absolutely love. I almost test knit for her, but I just didn't have the right yarn and whatever, it didn't work out. But I'm so impressed. She's really great designer, and I love and all different kinds of stuff, like different designs, and very inspiring. So
so surprise, Beth.
Yeah. But we were talking about it, and we realized that now that it's spring, nobody really wants to be knitting wool sweaters anymore. So we're thinking about doing that in the fall, and we will get back to you with more details as that comes up, but something to look forward to. And it'll be any one of her patterns. We all happen to love Hamilton, but she's got lots of great patterns. So anywho, that's a mini announcement. So Kate, what are you wearing?
I am wearing my Ranunculus. This was knit in the Cashmere People Cashgora yarn, which I love and we'll talk more about in my FO. And it is by Cafe Knit Midori, or Midori Hirose, I believe. And it's a great sweater. I love it. So
that might be one of your best. It's such a fabulous color for you.
The colors of this yarn are just incredible. And it's warm, but it's lightweight. Like, it's pretty warm out today, and I'm not sweating in it. I do have a tank top on under it, but it's just, I just am in love.
Awesome. How about you, Lorien?
Yeah,
I am wearing a new finished object. This is the Noctuidae sweater by, there's the bottom. It's like tunic length for me. It's by Catherine Clark, who is goes by Love is in the Making on Instagram, and she's the owner of Brooklyn General. So there are also posts there. She's the designer. I've knitted in her own yarn, which is called Skydance. That's the cream color. The black and gray is Tukuwool fingering, and the moths are colored with Spincycle dyed in the wool, the color Noctuidae. And this took me the better part of a month. It has a ton of different techniques. I would say it's an intermediate level pattern, simply because of—
I don't know about that. I bet it's
okay, intermediate, advanced. It has a lot of different techniques, which individually you probably have done, but maybe not all in one pattern. It has a secret message in the rolled hem. For the most part, I followed the pattern. The sleeves, I did some modifications. It has stranded color. It's 3 colors, stranded color work, 2 colors, stranded color work, intarsia, 2 and 3 colors. And I had a lot of fun with it. It was my birthday sweater, and I left it on the blocking wires for a week though, because these yarns, unless they're perfectly dry, they still snug up. So I have about a 15-minute video where I've just spoken about this that I will post after we post this episode. And I also have a little snippet showing you how I handle my yarn management and hold my yarn in my hands when I'm knitting with 3 colors. It was a lot of fun. It was beautiful. And
sweater.
Yeah, I made some friends knitting this. I followed some test knitters, and that was really probably one of the most beautiful aspects of this knit. Was it really is something that expanded my circle.
Nice.
Good job, Lorien.
Thank you.
Kim.
I'm wearing at the Felix by Amy Christophers. Is
Yeah.
that it? Yeah, and I knit it in Woolfolk Taupe, and 6T is the color, and it's a beautiful bluey green color. It's not reading well on the screen. It's got a little more green in it than blue, and it's so soft. I have nothing on underneath. Minus what I need. And it's not itchy or anything. And it's that's Woolfolk. It just feels good against my skin. So yeah. But it's funny, I went to put it on and I still haven't sewn in some ends inside. I'm like,
As long as they're on the inside.
That's okay.
they're on the inside, and I actually know how to find the back now. I'm like, oh, that's the back. Okay, so it's my tag.
Because you finished that one a while ago.
Oh yeah, I looked on my Ravelry page. It was a year ago, January. So I wonder if I did.
We've had a whole pandemic since then. Nobody since then. Nobody expects you to weave in your ends.
Exactly. Like I said,
Sorry, I don't always weave in my ends. Nobody sees them.
nobody sees them, but I can feel it. It's like a little string on my back.
It's like have a hair, when
It was.
All right. I finally, this is one of my FOs, have my honeycomb mesh scarf, which is just this lovely light. It was knit on size 7s. I love it. It was one of those that I started and then I started another thing and then I do a little more. I think I've shown it to you guys many, many times. And I'll get to it later, but I had to put another project in timeout and I just was like, you know what, I'm going to get this done. And I'm so glad I did. I love it. I'm coming to realize that I really like scarves more than shawls. And I used to love to knit shawls and I love the actual process, but I don't wear them. They're usually too big. I don't have big shoulders to drape them on. I don't know. So I'm all about the scarves, and because I love in the winter to have something cozy around my neck, and I'm going to be a scarf girl from now on. Oh, Kate doesn't like that. Anywho, that's what I'm wearing and one of my FOs.
What's the yarn, Laura?
Oh, I'm sorry. Isair Alpaca Merino 2, which is, I think, almost a lace weight, maybe heavy lace weight fingering. But like I said, it's knit on 7s.
Yeah.
So it has this lovely, I love it. It's, and it's, I know, I'm sorry. I have the worst lighting here, but it's like a dark blue with a little gray in it. And yeah, like
It looks brown.
No, it's not at all. It's like a grayish blue. And I know I don't have good lighting here, and this is where my desktop is, and I don't have a laptop, so you can't go by a window and give you better looks at it. But anyway,
I'll probably be posting up on your Ravelry page, right?
I'm terrible about Ravelry.
Put it on Instagram.
I know, and I've got to be better about Instagram. I'm terrible about posting. I'm not a social media girl. But anywho, Kate, what about FOs?
I have 3 FOs. So my first FO is another pair of the Öröm slippers, OROM, by, I think it's Yolanda Teague. These were a birthday gift for a friend, so I no longer have them in my possession. They are gone. But
it's Isolda. Isolda Teague.
Isolda. Thank you.
Yep.
So this was my 3rd pair of the slippers, and I really like them. And I've gifted 2 of the pairs, and people are very happy with them. So I do have yarn to make one more pair for me because I don't have any yet. And it's a really fun knit. My second FO is I finished it. Truth be told, I was away last week for 10 days and I just pulled these out of the hamper. So I don't have sock blockers, so I never even blocked them. I wore them a few times before I left. They fit well. They do tend to stretch out this way in the foot a little bit as I wear them. So I think the next time I make them, I will just make my heel a little bit shorter to shorten that part up. But I do like them, and I wore them. I wore them with shoes or boots, and they were comfortable. So my first pair of socks, there they are.
The thing I heard there was the next time I make a pair.
Okay, so well, as some of you know, I teach knitting through our local community school, and because I made these because some of my students had been asking, like, can we try socks? I was like, no. So I finally gave in. So actually, we are going to be making socks the next session in a couple of weeks. So I will be making another pair with my students. And then my third and final,
drum roll.
finally FO is old school sweater. It's finally done.
Kate, it's awesome.
That color.
I know.
So again, this is the Cashmere people yarn, the Cashgora yarn. You get it through Port Fiber, which is in Portland, Maine. I believe Casey is the owner of Port Fiber. And this yarn is just so special. So you get, when you buy it, you get a card showing you who actually spun your yarn, and it has her little story on it, and you can go find out more about her and the yarn through the website. And it's soft, but it's light, and it's warm, but it's not hot. This pattern, as I said, is old school. It's by Vera Velimaki. I did have a love-hate relationship with it at first. I couldn't get the lace to line up, and it's a little quirky, and there are 2 different charts that you work from. And I had to take time in between to make the Öröm gift slippers. So I finally got back to it. I did finish my sleeves last week while I was traveling. And as some of you saw on my post, Sleeve Island is much more pleasant on a real island.
What isn't more pleasant?
Exactly. And I literally finished the bind off on the bottom hem in the car on the way home from the airport. So I blocked it yesterday and have not woven in any ends yet, but I can't say enough about this yarn, this color. The pattern was good once I figured it out, and I'm very happy with it. So
I actually can't wait to see that one on you.
Yeah, me too.
If we podcast soon enough, I might be able to wear it next time, or I'll just have to turn the AC down and,
Exactly.
and I can put it on.
Great.
But that's it.
Nice.
All right, buckle up, guys, because now it's Lorien doing FOs, and she has been prolific. I can't believe in the time that you've knit your Noctuidae, you have so many other FOs, but.
Well, it's been about a month, and I had a 10-hour car ride over the weekend. And one of these I was knitting at the same time as the Noctuidae. So first, and I showed it on our last podcast when it was a whip. So this is hold on.
Harry Styles.
Yeah, the Harry Styles, the color block patchwork cardigan. It's by J.W. Anderson. I knitted in loops and threads yarns, and we made some modifications so that it would fit. I probably should just put it on top of this sweater. Let me just show you the back. It has a collar. It's probably easiest to see on my Instagram feed. It's size for a man. My daughter and we made some changes and checked the fit. This is the sleeve, and you basically knit, I think it's 6 different types of squares. They're different textures, different patterns in different colors. And then you knit them in strips, and then you piece them together. It's a free pattern. You add a collar, and actually the whole thing is written in pieces. I did not do that. I picked up for my bands. It's actually supposed to have a button band. She just wanted it plain. I picked up for the ribbing on the bottom and the cuffs. And I made the cuffs much more snug. She's petite, but it fits her great. She doesn't go anywhere. She's in remote school, and it's just the model she prefers right now. And so she hasn't yet worn it out to my knowledge, but she tried it on. I got a good picture. Super economical, very fun knit. I knit, what did I do? I think the loops and threads is a little bit larger, no, smaller gauge. So it's written for a little bit thicker, and the loops and threads is a little bit thinner. So I followed another pattern. You can see I've put some pretty good notes on my pattern page, but another person who did it resized the squares accordingly. And so it was a lot of fun. It was a good change up at the same time that it's hard to believe I was knitting both of them. And then I also knit, because this winter I was doing comfort knits. So I wanted to knit patterns that were well appreciated and well, that were popular and kind of simpler. So I also knit the Turtle Dove sweater. I knit it in Wool Folk Luft, color number L10. I did, I did the split hem. There's the bottom. The high-low split hem. I heavily modified this also, and the yarn is gorgeous. I did not want it as wide as the pattern called for. It's still plenty wide for me. I also changed the sleeves, and I can see why it's so popular. I can see why so many people knit it. The yarn was beautiful to work with, and I might give it to my daughter if she wants it. If not, I'm frogging it because I happen to have a lot of yarn left, and it just is, it's not a sweater that I think I would wear. But I will be very happy if she decides to wear it, and I'm glad I knit it and had the experience, but this yarn is not economy, even though I did get it on sale, and I would rather it become something that I'm going to wear. Otherwise, I still have like 3.5 skeins left, and I may just need to order more and knit something else. Maybe the Beth McDonald's Joan Cowl will be in one of those. Okay, that's it for sweaters. So everyone who's a knitter had seen Bernie Sanders with his mittens, and there was a meme that went around, and I changed my picture on my Facebook account, and it just showed me wearing, like, it took my face and attached him wearing his gloves. And someone I know saw them and said, gosh, my husband would love those. Do you think you could knit a pair? And I was like, well, I think I could. Do I want to? Maybe it would be fun. And so there were many patterns that came out, and sizing them for someone whose hand you don't really have is a little tricky, but these are my Bernie mitts. That's the front and the back. And I knit these. I just finished the second thumb this morning. They're big. I mean, they're big on me, but they're for a man. And they were a ton of fun. I used, yes, so I used the pattern that is by Meg Harlan, and she calls it Vermont's Finest, Bernie's Mittens. I knit them in, again, Impeccable, loops and threads, Impeccable. This colorway is called Soft Taupe. And then I really like using the Paton's classic wool worsted. We can get this at our local craft store. And the colors are Aran, Natural, Mix, and Black. I knit these, so it's designed for, the design is for a woman's hand. And I really wasn't sure quite what to do. And it's just a chart. It's just like a Fair Isle or Selbo type mitten chart. So I have knit those before, and I pulled out one of the patterns I'd already had just so I knew, because it also is only charted for one hand and you have to reverse the chart for the other hand. So I kind of needed a reference point to do that. And what I did was I held this yarn double. So it was really thick. I used 8s on the cuff, 9s on the rest of it. I used my floops for my thumbs. And my husband was with me when we were away visiting our son in college this weekend. And so I needed a male hand to try them on. And of course, what happens? He's like, well, if she doesn't want them for her husband, I'll take them. So now he wants a pair as well. So I'll be knitting another one of those. That's the Bernie Mittens. I also knit a I had some yarn that I just loved the way it looks. I did a pretty good job with yarn management. I knit a cowl. This is a gift for a man. Oh, let me do it from here so you don't see exactly my seam. It's a slip stitch pattern. It uses one of the motifs from Andrea Mowry's Shifty Shift type series. But it's not, she didn't do a pattern for this. I just had knit her shift along hat and I thought it would be fun. And so I did this also in the car this weekend. And I just played around. I have 4 rows of twisted rib. No, it's just a snug fitting cowl. And one of the colors, the green, is from TAAT Studios. Kim, this is what's in the cowl I made you guys. I made you all that X and O pattern. Yeah. This is the green. It's from TAAT Studios, called Soyeau DK, and it's merino silk and yak. So that was really fun, and that's like finished, like ends have been woven. Let's see. I have 2 hats. So some of you, if you watched one of our episodes, probably like late January, early February, I knit some hats for my cousins. Well, my cousin's daughters, because they're knitters. And then 2 of them have little brothers, so they wanted hats too. So I used the Tin Can Knits Anthology hat recipe, mostly for the decreases. I just love the way the crown, well, I'll put it on here, the way the crown comes together.
I like that a lot.
Yep. And I used some yarn that I had. They both wanted blue. So, and they measured their heads. One of them, he's like 6. He has a 22-inch head, which I have like a 19-inch head. So this one is a little bit larger. He wanted blue with dogs. So I found a dog motif. I found a pattern that had it and I could look at it close enough and sort of copy it into here. So he wanted blue with dogs.
Kim,
so Everett, I hope this fits you.
I know, I might have to knit that one.
It looks like Remy.
It does look like Remy.
And then this one's for Ethan. So those will go out in the mail. I just needed to record. And if Everett, if this is too big, if you watch, Lena's his big sister, then we'll make you another one. But I just did duplicate stitch for the nose, but otherwise it was, it was fun.
Cute.
Okay. I also knit the Squarshy hat, which is by Elena Anderson, and I knit it in Hub City Fibers. I'm just pulling it up on my account because it's already been gifted. And here's a photo of it. It's in a chunky weight, and it was a lot of fun. This I made for my friend Wendy, because I walk with her this winter and she was wearing like an acrylic hat, and I said, no, no, you need a hat. So I knit that for her. I think that's, oh, sorry, one more FO. This was also a car knit. Is I had started these because I was hoping my daughter would be interested in learning to knit. She knows how to knit, but I thought maybe she'd be interested in knitting in the round, like a magic loop. And she loves shorty socks, and she happens to have fairly small feet. These are actually a little tiny for her too. But I could block them. They're just on the blockers now to show you. And this is knit in Felici, Knit Picks Felici. I think the colorway is called Aquarium. And then she just picked this color for the heels. So the next step for her will be in this color, which is called Time Traveler. And I'll make them another 1/2 inch longer.
Do you do a pattern for the shorties, Lorien?
No, I do just a vanilla sock. So I actually am really loving these needles, Knitter's Pride Dreams. Okay. They're wooden. Yeah. I use a 40-inch cord. I like the cord here. It's pretty flexible also. I do a wedge toe and an afterthought cut in heel. That's a wedge as well. And her feet, she wears about a 6.5. So I actually need 6.5 inches of just stockinette, and then a 1/2 inch of ribbing for the cuff. And then I cut in the heel. So if I weren't knitting other things, I'd have made more, but I was hoping she would take over. She will weave in ends. I will say on the patchwork sweater, I said, here it is, you do the ends. So that was a win. So those are my finished objects.
Wow.
Wow.
Busy girl.
Yeah.
Kim, you get to follow up that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I've been doing for the past month. I don't have any FOs.
No worries.
Yeah, we went away a little bit. My mom had a knee replacement. I've been doing stuff like that. You'll see in my whips, but I did do that baby hat last time.
Oh, are you going to show that?
Yeah, I'm going to show. I showed the hat, I think, already.
Oh.
But anyway, we got the baby announcement in the mail the other day, and they used the hat.
Oh my God,
So cute.
like so cute.
That is such an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Excited. So
that was awesome.
yeah, that was a nice surprise. That's but next time I will have some
No
FOs.
worries.
Mhm.
Okay, besides my beautiful scarf, I knit, surprise, surprise, another hat.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And yes, I love this. So I had returned some yarn to Espace Tricot, so I had a credit, and they just do store credit, which is fine. I'm always happy to spend it. And they did an Instagram post that they'd just gotten in some walk collection cottage merino that was good for this hat. I think the original hat, which is beautiful, I love, is like a red and white, hence the Twistmas. It looks very Christmassy, their original one. So I picked a color, I forget what this is called, like sea pearls or something. It's held together with an Isair mohair, which I just did a very soft white just to soften the colors. And then they had one of these pom-poms in a dusky pink. This is showing a little orange here. It's really kind of pink. And
Oh, cute.
I love it. And I've worn it, well, now it's too warm, but I've worn it to, quite a bit on dog walks and playing paddle. And hats are just so satisfying, and I do not need another hat, and I've got plenty of yarn to make other hats. And this happened after, when I get to whips, I'll explain, I had to put a project in timeout, and I just needed a quick win. And I knit this in a day and a half, like it was raining and I just whatever. And I love it. It's just such a simple pattern, twisted rib, very classic Espace Tricot.
What's the pattern called?
Twistmas, Twistmas, like Christmas, but
yeah,
Twistmas. And it's just really cute. It's funny. The colors are popping a little differently on there, but
I've seen like a dusty pink on the.
Yeah.
Okay. On mine, it's looking a little weird, but it's, I love it. And it was exactly what I needed in the moment, just to get away from, the annoying, which I'll tell you about. Anyway. Okay. So that's it for FOs. How about whips, Kate?
I have one whip. It's in my bag. You Got a Bag by Tish. And this is about as much as I can show it. It's a test knit. It's a hat for Making Stories magazine. It's going to be in volume 6. And but I can tell you about the yarn I'm using. It's called Stone Wool. They specialize in American-made breed-specific wool. So this wool is an American Romney and Merino mix, and it's really cushy and soft, and I really like it. And I had showed this before. I wasn't getting gauge, and so I put it away in timeout for a while, and now I'm back on it because it's due the beginning of April. So.
And did you make gauge now?
I haven't measured it.
Oh, hey.
I'm just gonna knit the hat, and if I get it, I get it. And this will be my 3rd time trying to get the gauge. And if I don't get it, 3 strikes and you're out, and it becomes something else. So yeah, but that is my only whip. So I don't know what's next either.
Oh,
I know.
When is it due?
April 9th.
Oh, that's a pretty good.
It was a long
Yeah.
time because you have the same timeline whether you're doing a sweater or a hat or whatever. So I chose the hat purposefully, and I'm glad I did.
exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's it for me. It should be done tonight, actually.
My whip is just a swatch right now. I literally finished a bunch of those things just yesterday that I showed you. but this yarn is Rowan felted tweed in the camel color. It's a DK. And I got this for as a Christmas gift. My husband got it. Somehow he knew about Little Knit Seattle where it was on sale. Must have gotten a link in an email for me. Here's the
Subtle
the
hint.
brand.
Yes.
And I had seen this pattern somewhere and I just thought, oh, I would really wear that kind of a lot. And then when I went to look for the pattern online, I had to buy Rowan magazine number 68 because it's so new. This is a pattern called Adelphi. It is by Martin Story, and I have knit one of my favorite ponchos is by Martin Story. It is a pretty like basic V-neck cardigan.
Nice.
It's a higher up. I like that too. V-neck. I would totally wear it the same way as the model with like a button shirt underneath. And it's just pretty. It has a little bit, you can't see, it has a little bit of ribbing at the bottom, some type of ribbing, and it just has a nice detail at the collar. So it's knit in,
That's a good classic sweater.
Yeah.
yes, that's what I'm thinking. It's knit in pieces. Didn't get gauge on 5s, which is what the main colors, the main needle's supposed to be. And so now I'm trying 4s, which does not really make me happy to knit a DK weight sweater on 4s, but I want to get obviously I want to get the right gauge, and the fabric, I mean, this is hardly a DK, I would say. It's a very,
I know, I think the same thing. I've thought that before about that yarn. It really is a very light DK sport.
which I think is nice for a tweed, you know, to have, it's very fuzzy. And I took this bag out. I have not used it in a while. It's one of my favorite bags. That's so cute. It's called Hedgehog Succulents. It just has some polka dots inside. It is by, I don't think I can see. I wouldn't have even remembered this if she didn't have her name on the little ribbon here. 19 stitches.
Cute.
And I don't know if I bought it or won it. I've had it for a while. And I just think it is the cutest fabric I've ever seen. So it doesn't hold much. I was actually knitting the socks and the cowl in it, but since I had it out, I was using it for this pattern. So that's, the book is an acquisition, and that is a new cast on whip.
Cute. Ah,
Right.
that tweed too.
Yeah.
Kim,
So this is what I've been doing, and I'm very happy with it. It's sweater number 12 by My Favorite Things, and it's been, let's see.
Oh,
wow.
I really like this.
okay, but it wasn't your favorite thing for a little while, right?
Well, I did not do the cast on it asked me to do.
Okay.
I forget what it was. Anyway, I didn't like.
Was it Italian cast on?
Yeah, it was an Italian cast on.
So these Danish women use that a lot, and a lot of people use that in Scandinavia. Go ahead.
So anyway, I didn't like the way it looked, the way I did it. So I just did a regular cast on, and then I made a few mistakes, and so you could totally notice. So I had to rip it back. That was just my mistakes. I didn't do the directions. I'm knitting it with Knitting by Olive, the merino, and the what's that word called? Mohair. And I did the large, and I'm glad I did. I met Gage, and I think those Danish sizes are not quite as forgiving as American sizes. So I didn't want my stripes screaming across. Exactly. I put it on. It fits great.
It's beautiful.
I did not do 2 at a time sleeves because that would be 8 balls of yarn to manage.
Yeah.
And mohair sticks to everything. So I really like it.
Is it soft, Kim?
Yeah, it is soft. They say when I blocked my swatch, it does grow in length about an inch or so. So,
but that's never going to be a problem for you.
No, I know exactly. It'd be like, fine, it's still going to be, probably appropriate. But really happy with it. And I was just reading, the designer's only 33 years old.
Wow.
She makes the best. She has some beautiful patterns also. I'm like, that is so great.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Some of those Danish, they're mostly women that I know of. I'm sure there's men. They're just designing some great stuff. Ann Wenzel is one that I recently discovered, but you guys all know. I love her stuff. Petite Knits.
Love it.
You know, those women up in Scandinavia, because it's so bleak and dark all winter long, that they're knitting beautiful
Yeah. You
stuff.
can tell when I go to on Instagram, like who I follow, because I'm like, I doesn't even, they don't even, you know, write it in English. God,
Yes.
how dare they? How dare they? But you could tell that I'm drawn towards that Danish and Denmark area. So
Yeah.
that'll be done soon.
Beautiful.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. Is that it for whips? You didn't make any more? You didn't
No,
work
I
on your
still have the
cardigan?
Parker. No, I put that down because this was just too much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
and I've got time for that cardigan.
All right. Well, I wish I could say that I was having as much luck. So this isn't a timeout. This is the first time I pulled it out of the bag in 2 weeks. I am knitting sweater number 11, which I absolutely love. It's, you know, same top, I dropped something, twisted turtleneck, really nice sort of shoulder detail that ends up on the back of your shoulders. Knit the whole body, did the Italian bind off, which took me, I mean, I forget how many stitches, well over 200 stitches. So it's a
I did not do the Italian bind off at the bottom.
well,
Or it was taking forever. The
it took
sewing
forever. And it's okay. I'm not sure that I completely love it.
Yeah.
And then I tried it on after I bound it off, and it felt kind of snug right where I don't want it to be snug. And I just was almost like in tears, because not only did I spend the time to do it, but now if I have to frog it, I have to undo it.
Oh.
And I like turtlenecks to be snug, not like a neck brace, but snug and warm. So because I always like to do the neck finishing, whether it's a collar or whatever, before I do the sleeves, because I find that affects how long you may or may not want your sleeves. And this was a little too snug. And so what I need to do, and I don't know what is scaring me so much, is I need to soak it and block it and see if this loosens up a little bit, which it should, and whether I'm happy with this. But I think I just don't want to know the answer.
Can you split hem that bottom? Maybe
it is a high-low already. Yeah, I mean, I'll only have to, because the body is fine, and this yarn is so nice. It's 70%. What is it? It's the Amano Warmy. I think I wrote it down somewhere. I don't know. I think it's anyway, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's wool, but it's got a halo and it's soft, and I'm only doing one strand because I'm really kind of tired of holding multiple strands and managing them. So anyway, it's in a timeout for now. I'm gonna have to face it soon, but that's why I went and did my Twistmas hat, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish this. So then I was kind of at a loss, and I decided to, one of the sort of yarn companies, I don't know that much about them, and I don't know how I found them. Are you guys familiar with Monarch Knitting? I don't know if she has a store or if it's just a website, but I get her emails, and I love her projects and the kits that she does. And she had a kit she posted on Instagram, and it's hard to see, the quadrant cowl, and it's a Mobius. You just knit it in a tube and then tie at the end you're going to twist it and knit them together. And this is the only picture I have. It's hard to see. It's one main color full skein and then 3 mini skeins, and she had all these different colorways. And I think I might have ordered the wrong one, because there's not a lot of difference here, right? So and it's just a cool design involving a slip stitch. I love it. It's by the design is by Jessica Rose Harrigfeld, and she's Cashmere Treats, and that's what this yarn is. I think it's just called Cashmere Treats. I forget. Yeah. Oh no, it's a Merino Luxe. cashmere treats. Anyway, so I was sort of on my merry way with that, but kind of wondering if I didn't have enough contrast in that. And then for some reason, I'd been thinking about knitting this sweater a while ago. Jen Steingass is doing a big, long knit along, and I had been thinking about doing it and then cast on sweater number 11. And I don't know what prompted me to do it because I'm not being very project loyal right now, which is not like me. But I cast on the, and I don't know how to pronounce this, Aurelis, or what is it?
Aurelis, is it?
Aurelis?
I thought it was Aurelius.
Aurelius, yeah. So it's a, just a classic Jen Steingass. Most of her sweaters are top down. She does have a few that are bottom up. She just does these beautiful, beautiful yoke designs. And this is, I've kind of really for several years been looking for wanting to do like a spin cycle, like a changing. And I had actually, my main color that I'm using is, I'll show you, Harrisville Tweeds. God, I'm totally blanking. Sheer, no, sheer. It's a yarn that they release every once in a while. It's not one of their main yarns, and I love the color changes. And she did Spincycle, the sport weight one. That's not the dyed in the wool, right? Or maybe it is the dyed in the wool. And when I had a skein of that I had from another project that I was going to do and I didn't do, but when I tried to do a swatch, I didn't like it. So I ended up finding this company, Feederbrook Farm. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And this is their Entropy DK. And I hope this is kind of coming out. It's like blues and greens and purples, and it's really looking.
Is there a gray in there?
No, that's like a bluish color.
Okay.
It's just really, really pretty. Although I have to say, there's a very dark color at one end, and I'm glad that once I skeined it, I realized that it was only part of it because I don't want that in it. So I don't know, I just kind of got inspired and decided that I was going to jump in on the Cowl when there was only 3 weeks left. And I think it's been over 2 months or something, 3 months or something. It's been going for a while. So I'm going to try to finish this by April 10th.
Yeah.
But once I'm through the yoke, then it's just stocking knit, like should be pretty easy. And I'm going to knit the sleeves flat and sew them together to avoid my small circumferences in the round. So that's my kind of helter-skelter whips. And after I finish these 2 sweaters, I think I'm done with sweaters for a while. I think I'm going to do cowls and scarves and small things and socks. It's going to be my summer socks, I swear. I have so much sock yarn, and I have so many socks that I want to knit. And I think that's a good thing in the summer when it's too hot to have a big sweater on your lap.
Mm-hmm.
Very portable too.
Yeah. And I mean, I have a lot of yarn right now already. So, okay. Future knitting acquisitions, anyone? Kate? You said you don't know what's next.
I don't know what's
next. Any thoughts?
I did get an acquisition, but I forgot all about it actually. Because it came while I was away and it's still in the box. So maybe
Is it from Argentina?
It is not. No.
Oh, I thought it might be a hoagie bag.
No. It's not another hoagie bag. Although I know I posted it on Instagram, but Rich, the last time she had the warehouse sale, my husband, he texted me like, oh, he's having a sale, and he sent the link.
Good boy.
I did go on, and
so cute.
I did go on, and I actually was looking at the interchangeable needle cases, but the stuff in the warehouse sale like sells like that. It's gone. So I was good. I didn't get anything. So no, I need to focus now and pick something, and I have no idea what's next.
That's kind of exciting though.
Yeah, I do still want to do a brioche hat because I never did that following my my brioche class. So I do still want to do that. And actually, I had talked about doing it with the needles at the ready, guys. So I don't know if you guys are watching, but I'm ready.
Lorien.
Okay, I have a few acquisitions, quite a few. One from Argentina.
What's your birthday month? It is your birthday month.
Yeah, one's from Argentina, but I'm going to start with the softer stuff first. So I just received this in the mail today, which I'm very excited about. It is Pasquale. You see that? Cashmere.
Yeah.
628. It is 100% organic cashmere. I bought this from Yarn Scout. Sharon, who owned Yarn Scout, passed away. Her family has been selling off the inventory and even getting in some more things. This was 25% off.
Wow.
I'm going to make a Beckett hat. It's by Sarah Solomon. It's a cabled hat, which I wanted to do, and it's a worsted weight. So I have 3 skeins, 3 balls of fingering, and I'll hook them double. I really felt, I just fell in love with the idea of a white hat. I feel like I'll be able to keep it white. So I'm hoping this will be hopefully a fairly quick knit. Hopefully. Let's see. Next, I bought 2 skeins of Woolfolk tinned in black. Can't probably see anything. It's their fingering, their Ovis. It's color L15. I ordered it from one of my local yarn stores, Vineyard Knitworks. This is where I go. My mom lives on Martha's Vineyard. I'm actually headed out there in April. And I ordered from them. If I don't have enough, I'll pick up another in person. So that was something else that's going to become a sweater. It's the color work in the color work sweater. I'm waiting for the other color, which is a birthday gift from a friend. Also, so I went, as I said, I went on a long car ride this weekend up to upstate New York to visit my son in college. And Vogue Knitting Live 2020. I was so excited to speak with Patty of Yarn Culture when we went to her booth, because I was going to be going up to her neck of the woods to visit my son. And she said, oh, we closed our brick and mortar shop, but you must go visit Lift Bridge Yarns. These are my friends. They're in Fairport, New York, and they just opened a shop and it's beautiful and you must go visit them. And we were going to go to accepted students weekend in April. My son and I had never seen the school and he was already committed to going. And then we didn't go anywhere in April. So we didn't do anything until we dropped him off. Actually, I went up last summer with him on a road trip and saw the school, but we didn't get to the yarn store. But I got there this time. So because there were only 2 people allowed in the shop at once, and we got there and my son desperately needed a haircut. My husband left with him to go get a haircut. And I went and had so much fun with Dawn and Jesse. It was the only person in the store. I was wearing this. We talked knitting, we talked yarn. And I was really blown away by how many brands they carry that are local to them. And some of them I purchased. I've listed them in an Instagram post today, but I just had so much fun. The first thing I want to show is not local really to them, but it's always interesting, different markets, people, their customers just have different interests. And so they had Green Mountain Spinnery, Alpaca Elegance. It's a DK weight alpaca. It's a 50 gram, I think, 50 gram skein. 58 grams, 180 yards. So I got 4, I basically cleared the shelf because they had it on sale. So I got 4 of this. It's called Ribos, this reddish color. And I got 2 of the cream, but literally I cleared the shelf. I already had 1 of the cream in my own stash. It's a little different because this is just the natural wool, it's undyed. But now I need a pattern. So I have 540 yards of this and 720 yards of this. So if anybody happens to have an idea, let me know. I'm not, I have other things lined up. Always have something lined up. So I got that. So when I was looking all around the store, John gave me this great tour, talked pretty much about everything on every wall. Because I always like to buy something that's more local if possible. And I try to always go into a yarn store with a pattern in mind. So I did go with a pattern in mind. One of my newer friends is doing a test knit. And I love what she's knitting. I have loved so many things that she's knit or knitting. We have very similar coloring and features. This is Lisa of Stop, Drop, and Knit. Now, I modify. And I felt like I've done enough fingering weight sweaters like this recently that I needed a DK. So she's doing a test knit for Telly Bean Knits that I am going to version for myself using my Tin Can Knits sweater recipe and these 3 colors, which are probably not showing up as green. Anyway, this I thought was fascinating. And for some reason, I stumbled on this in the store and Dawn had not told me about a farm yarn that they carry. It is by Long Meadow Farm, the Wool Rooms, Farm Flock White Sand. So this is my main color. It's a natural color. It's a long wool and a DK weight. Kind of looks familiar. You can never have too many cream colored sweaters. So spun right round. Okay, local to upstate New York, to Rochester, New York, folks. I did not realize this. You can find spun right round kind of all over. I feel like her name's Renee. This is the treasured color. And I have followed Meg's online and I knew she's in Rochester. Oh, this is not showing the beauty that is this dark emerald green called the Temptress. So this is also a DK weight. And going to, like I said, version a sweater for myself out of those with the main color being this. Okay. John and Jesse were so nice. They also sent some gifts for you guys, for the girls. So we each got a sticker from Lift Bridge because it's all good at Lift Bridge Yarns. And I think there's a bridge. But I was on such a high after leaving there because I just had so much fun. If we drove past this bridge, I missed it. Or over
Probably
it.
one of those bridges that lifts.
Yeah,
Probably is. I don't know. I think we didn't go in that direction because at that point we needed to find the right supercuts where my husband dropped my son and came back for me. And then I don't know. Yeah. So they also gave us each pins. I have a pin for
Oh, cute.
you. And this is, I just think this is the bomb. So since we're all into knitting hats,
Oh, I like that.
that's the bridge. And isn't this adorable? The other side has a little, so
Yeah.
I have sets for each of you guys here
Oh, thank you.
of these. And that's from John and Jesse. That was
Oh,
the
that's
gift.
really sweet. Thank you.
Isn't that really kind of them? When they heard we have a podcast, I'm like, I'm going to talk about you guys. I would have talked about them, whether they gave us gifts or
Right.
not.
I'm gonna follow him right now.
Yes. So,
that's
there's
nice.
that. I wanted to talk about a couple of other quick things. So, I ordered some, we've talked a lot. We've talked about what yarn knitting supplies we use in our favorites. I am quite married to wooden needles, not bamboo, but wood. And I use my Luca interchangeables constantly, which means I wear them out. Wood tips they don't last. And for me, they need to stay smooth and not grippy. And so I needed to order a bunch. I cannot recommend Art Yarn, etc. anymore. I found her on Etsy. I have not ordered from her before, but these were packed and shipped the next day and I got them like 2 days later. She's out, I think she's in South Carolina. Her name is Ellen Hudson, and she says she's also a fiber artist. She has some yarns too, but she's on Etsy. So one of the things that I do with my Lucas is when I if I need to replace a tip, and I generally use the 5-inch ones. I was knitting that. I was actually hoping to receive these and finish knitting my turtle dove with it because I really needed 10.5. I also needed 7s and 6s, and I'm trying the shorter needles because their cords are very long. These needles, for me, a 3.5-inch needles, just too short, crampy, but for hats, it's nice to have. So I got the 5 and the 4 in that, and I'd also gotten a 10.5 in that too. It's a way to replace your needles without needing to replace your entire set. However, did you guys see there's a blush pink version of Luca needles? Eventually, it really makes sense for me to just buy another set rather than keep replacing tips. When you buy this many tips, you probably need to just get the new set. So I
Sounds
saw
like
that.
rationalization to me.
Yeah.
Well, I needed other things more, including my birthday splurge. So this is from Tolt Yarn and Wool.
Love
It is a hockey bag. It is the XL Pampa. I have not used it, but it will be my maybe spring, summer handbag. I don't use these for project bags. Good grief. I want to use them as much as possible. So when Hohi came out with the brown pampas, I almost got one quite early on, the regular pampa size. Like in a warehouse sale or a seconds, because she used to do seconds a little differently. And then she started making the larger ones, and I really just wanted this color. And she only sells this color through her distributors. There were a few in the warehouse sale, but I had not resisted it. I already ordered this. So Toltz Yarn and Wool carries, and I got free shipping. So that was good because it came from Washington State all the way to the East Coast. I think that's going to be it. Yeah. Well, there are two other things I wanted to just mention. So, because we were just talking about designers. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Teti Lutzak. She designs under Nuts and Knitwear.
Oh yeah, I love her stuff. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I just discovered her like this morning, and her designs are beautiful. She just released a new sweater, and she's I think a biologist. Yes.
Yeah, I love her.
Oh, pretty.
So pretty.
Like everything looks like she knits it in very like scratchy yarn, and it, you know, I'm sure it's not, you could do the designs and other stuff. There was another really cool one where she had it was like a dark green and dark brown, and the like two color, it was really, really cool. Like it's hard to tell, but like the ribbing on that had a lot of depth to it. It's beautiful. Yeah.
I wanted to mention her. And then I also started watching a new podcast, which is called Knit My Way Home. And I don't know if you guys have stumbled on it, came up in my feed. It is hosted by Loretta and Natalia, and they are mother and daughter. Natalia's like teen, maybe, and they live in the Yukon, which I just think is crazy in itself, because it's so cold there. But I just think
knitwear.
Yes, and it's lovely to kind of see their dynamic, and they're outdoors in the Yukon. I think they've posted maybe 2 episodes, and they're already hosting a knit along. And Natalia's a wonderful knitter already, and they do some really neat stuff. So I just thought I would pass that along. It was Natalia's idea to start a podcast, so her mom decided to do that with her. And they're already, have quite a few subscribers, and they're just fascinated by meeting people from all over the world. So Knit My Way Home on YouTube.
I'll check that one out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, an acquisition, just one though, so shouldn't take too long. I purchased this yarn a while back for my no frill sweater that's going to happen this year, and I was looking for a specific mohair to go with it, and I think I finally found it. It's called Antique, and it's by Homespun House, and it's just got a little, sorry, my phone just rang.
Okay.
A little hint of pink in it, and I'm hoping exactly what I was looking for.
Very subtle, yeah.
Yeah, very subtle.
It's going to be beautiful.
So, yeah, I think together it will look.
Yeah.
A little hint in it.
Yeah.
And,
beautiful.
So that will happen with my no frill sweater.
Nice.
House. Yeah, I think I did like, I probably got too many, or 3 of them, but that's what the yardage said to do. So I was like, oh, that's a lot. Sorry.
It's
Nice. Anyway.
Yeah, right. That's it. And yeah, I'm like you, Kate. Like, I'm not sure what I want to start next. So I'll just do hopefully the no frills I need to do, but
well, you've been wanting to do that for so long.
I know, since I've met you. We've known each other a long time. It'll happen.
Okay. I have no new acquisitions, but I was starting to think, because I know I don't want to knit any more woolen sweaters. I found this recently, the Lovell Tee. It's a Berroco. It's a free pattern. It's like an eyelet. You knit 2 pieces, the front and the back, and then sew it together. It's very, I'm sorry, it's very hard to see there, but it's a free pattern on Ravelry, or, it directs you to their website. And I looked it up, and it calls for their modern cotton DK, which has some something like it's not 100% cotton. And it calls in my size for a couple sizes, it calls for 3 skeins and it's $10 a skein. So, and beautiful, beautiful colors. And I just thought that would, because it's kind of an eyelet, lacy, open, I thought that would be a fun summer knit, but I'm not going to knit too many summer tops. I have yarn for one already for a Julie Hoover pattern that I want to make, and I might do that. So I'm thinking about colors, but I don't have any acquisitions, and it's going to be the summer of small things for me. Socks, scarves, maybe another hat or two.
Summer hats.
Yeah.
Nice linen hat.
Nope.
Nope.
All righty. Well, it's been fun to be with you guys. I don't know if anyone else has anything to say. No?
No?
All right. Well, thanks for watching. And as always, I say it every time, please leave comments. It's one of my absolute favorite things to do in the weeks after is to go on and just see what people have to say. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you watching. And until next time.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.